Thank you. Hello, my name is Sven Kaven. I'm an internet marketer, and I'm sitting here with Marcus de Maria. I have a couple of questions for him in preparation for the NAC 2012 in Nuremberg. Hello, Marcus. It's very nice meeting you.
Hi, Sven. Thanks for coming all this way from Germany to London.
It was a good journey, a little early in the morning to get up, but it was something really looking forward to.
Good, fantastic. So I'm looking forward to your questions as well.
So let's get full into it.
Okay.
Marcus, I would like to introduce you to our audience, and if you could tell us a little bit about yourself, give us a little insight so that people know who you are.
Okay, first and foremost, I'm a father of 2 children. I'm married to a wonderful lady called Madrika, which means precious ring. She's Indian. And several things that we do. We do training of people who want to learn how to make money on the stock market. I have a team of traders who trade my money for me, and now other people's money as well. And we are wealth creation experts, if you like. First of all, creating our own wealth, and then secondly, teaching other people how to do exactly the same. Normal people. Don't have to be a professor, or you don't have to have super brains or anything like that. Just normal people, how to create wealth. And the reason is because this type of information is just not taught anywhere. It's not taught in school. It's not taught by parents. So therefore, we are bringing it to the masses.
How did you get into this?
I had to. I was in a big financial problem. I was over £100,000 in debt at one stage, sleeping on my brother's floor for 6 months. And I realized that, you know, the thinking that got me into that situation had to totally change, to get me out of that situation. So I went to every single seminar, workshop, home study course, you know, crewing events, surrounding myself with people as much as I possibly could in order to get that education, which I didn't have. It's no big mystery. It's just if you don't focus on something, then obviously you don't get it. I was great at health, fitness, relationships. I was great at stuff like that, just not very good at finances. Mm-hmm. And then when I discovered certain formulas and just followed them, just like you would a formula for getting healthy, just like a formula for being good at relationships or spirituality or you know, anything. And once I started following it, I got the results. It's actually very simple indeed.
Well, I can see that education is actually the key.
For me, education is everything. You know, I think it's different in Europe. In England, what happens is that, you know, at the age of 15, 16, people want to stop their education. That's it. They think that is their education. You know, in reality, we're learning every single day. And if you want to get to the next stage, you need to surround yourself with the right people. We just had the Olympics, right? And isn't it strange that every single top person had a coach? Sometimes 2. Now you look at the coach and you say, why are you coaching that person? Because you, the coach, couldn't do that. I mean, look at you. But they're at the top of their game. Why? Because they have a coach. So that's education for me. Education is everything if you want to get there. And, you know, some people don't want to get there, and that's fine. But for the people that do want to get there, you need a coach.
So it actually starts with educating people. It's important to learn to have a coach.
I think it's important to learn how to learn. And I think that's what education should be about. Education should be not about memorizing certain things and then passing exams. It should be about how do I learn, so that you can learn anything if that's what you want to do, which is fantastic.
I can see that you're very passionate about this. Is this also the reason why you're coming to Germany to the NAC 2012 in September?
Absolutely. I mean, just think about this. It's the National Achievers Congress. I mean, what a name, first of all. And the lineup, the speakers, absolutely amazing. I mean, one of them, Robert Kiyosaki, I mean, when I read his book for the very first time, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I mean, it just like totally changed my perspective on things. So, you know, to be there with him is absolutely incredible. And to be able to share my story and also my successes from where I came from, being £100,000 in debt. A lot of people in the room won't be in the same situation. They'll be a lot better off. So if I can do it, then they can definitely do it.
That gives me actually a hint. So would you agree that success has a lot to do with mindset? And what state of mind would you actually consider yourself to be in?
Well, I can tell you the mindset that I was in. The mindset that I was in was I wasn't focusing at all on creating wealth. All I was into was just having fun, being happy, and whatever. The mindset that I was in before was just wasn't focusing on creating wealth. And because I wasn't focusing on creating wealth, I didn't get any, funnily enough. Then when all of that changed and I realized that I had to do something and I started educating myself, then my mindset changed around finances, around money. I didn't even think about money. It just wasn't something that I really thought about. I didn't think it was important. By the way, I don't think it's more important than anything else. I think it's just as important as anything else. But it's not less important either. It is part of who we are. It's part of our society. The mindset is all important because it all starts with the mind, right? After that, you get a feeling. After that, you take action. After that, you get a result. So the mindset is everything. And people always, they say, oh, give me the skills. That's what I really want. But actually, it's the mindset and psychology behind it first and foremost, which is the most important. And unfortunately, if you don't have that foundation, it doesn't matter how many things like stocks and shares and real estate and internet marketing and career and business you put on top. If you don't have that foundation, the whole structure collapses. So you need to have that mindset first and foremost, and to always be working on it. Let me ask you a question.
Go for it.
Okay. Do you eat several times a day?
Yes, I do.
Why? I mean, surely, once is enough, and then, no? Do you need to eat several times a day?
At least I have the feeling that I have to.
Yeah, exactly. And in the same way, if you want to nurture your mindset around wealth creation and money, maybe you need to do things several times a day. It doesn't need to be long. How many minutes do you spend eating? 5 minutes, 10 minutes? It's not really that long, right? But if you can just do 5-10 minutes a day over time, you'd be amazed the difference it will make in your bank account. Amazed.
So would you agree with that statement that it's actually absolutely important to know yourself absolutely well in order to get there?
I think it helps, but I don't think you need to necessarily. I think it's a journey, right? And it all depends what you want as well. I mean, some people just want to make an extra 100, 200, 300, maybe $500 extra, dollars, pounds, euros, whatever it is. Some people want to be billionaires. Surely there is a big difference. If you want to be a billionaire and you want to have an extra 500 euros. And I would say, just start off with an extra 500 euros. You don't need to get to know yourself too much. But, for me, the whole journey of life is about getting to know yourself. But you don't have to wait until you have, get to know yourself in order to create money. It just starts immediately. And, in actual fact, you can start creating money just right now. Just by setting up a business is probably the fastest way of doing it. Just do something right now. I mean, I remember that... people saying, but I don't have money. Then just do anything. Even get a second job. I'm not one of those wealth creation experts or gurus that says, a job is bad. I think a job is good. What's wrong with a job? It's a great way of making money. Now, what can you do with that money now? You can start investing it in the stuff that I'm going to be talking about, precious resources, gold, silver, platinum, palladium, oil. What's going to happen to these when India and China, are looking to grow their industry? They've got billions of people who want to have more money. They have a growing middle class. Something like 100 million cars are going to be manufactured in China alone by 2015. They all need these precious resources. So there's massive upward pressure. And what are we doing about it? I mean, if you look at the last 10 years growth in silver and platinum alone, we're talking about 500, 600% over the last 10 years. So therefore, what have we been doing? We've been looking at it going, oh, how nice. But we need to learn how to take advantage of that, how to secure our own financial future. And the other thing I'm very passionate about, I mean, I've got a 3-year-old, I've got a 1.5-year-old now. I didn't used to think long term at all. But now I'm thinking about intergenerational legacy. I'm starting to think about making money not just for myself, but for the next generation and the next generation after that. So now I'm thinking much, much bigger now. So, I mean, my 1-year-old invests in gold and silver. My 3-year-old invests in oil and platinum. So they don't know it yet. But that's what I'm doing for them. Why don't, let me ask you another question. How would you have liked for somebody else in your family, a little bit older, to have invested 10 years ago, let's say 10,000 euros in, let's say, gold or silver? And now, 10 years later, they go, oh, Sven, I've got this little check for you. And this check is about 100,000 euros. Would that have been nice?
That would be absolutely brilliant.
Right. You wouldn't say no to that, right? So what I'm suggesting to people at the National Achievers Congress, because I think they're going to think, yeah, that would be really nice for them as well. And that's great. But in order for that to have happened, somebody must have had the thought of doing it. So I'm at the National Achievers Congress to say, well, why don't you be the person that has the thought of doing it for the next generation?
What do you think stops people from wealth creation? What are the hooks? What are they holding back?
Why are they holding back? Well, first and foremost, I think a lot of people just don't think about it. They think that a job is there just to pay the bills. That's not how wealthy people think. Wealthy people think that you create money to invest it so that you can, as T. Harv Eker says, win the money game, become financially free. And it's also there to pay for the bills, but not just. So taking a little bit and investing it or trading it, if you want to have that education a little bit further on and make even more money. And just, it's so simple, just little bits done on a weekly basis or a monthly basis over time will make you financially free. I think most people just don't think about it. You talk to them about, coming to the National Achievers Congress and they go, well, why should I? Well, there you go. That's why probably they're suffering financially, and it's so simple to make money. There are so many opportunities out there, but you need to focus on it. Most people don't focus on it. That's the honest truth. That's the real reason why.
I agree with that. I think focus is absolutely important. Passion is absolutely important. I can see that you're very passionate about your subject. You're also very inspiring when you're on stage. How do you prepare yourself actually for the event in Germany or for any event?
Very simple. Don't make it about myself. If I'm there to say, right, it's about me being on stage and all this kind of stuff. No, this is about living my mission, which is to help as many people around the world create financial success for themselves and their families through financial education. Why? Because I needed that financial education that I didn't have. And once I had that financial education, everything changed. So my mission is to help as many other people do exactly the same thing. That's why I'm at the National Achievers Congress.
And that gives people, of course, financial freedom if they want to move that path along.
Of course, absolutely. It's very simple. In fact, what I'm going to be teaching, I'm probably giving too much away. I'm going to actually be going through some investment steps that they can do right there and then. They could leave on the Monday and just implement a lot of the stuff that I'm going to be talking about.
That's fantastic. I think that's a big reason to actually come there.
I would say so, and take lots of notes and bring as many people along as possible. I would say bring along your entire family. That's just me. I believe in that. I believe that, you can, if you wanted to, do it by yourself. If you want to do it the long, hard way, But if you bring as many people along as possible to support you, you support them. Sometimes they don't feel like doing it, so you feel like doing it. Sometimes, they don't feel like doing it. So, and then, so it's just helping each other. And that's what it's all about. And it's faster and it's more fun. And there's a bigger chance of you succeeding.
Marcus, can you tell me what the financial freedom for you means, for you personally?
For me personally, and I mean, it probably is the same for a lot of other people as well. It's doing what I want, when I want, as often as I want, with as many people as I want. In other words, we're talking about choice. To me, it's all about choice. It is never about the money. The money is a vehicle. That's all it is. It's a vehicle to get you from where you are to where you want to go. And everybody's different. Some people want to give everything away. Some people want more for themselves before they can start feeling, okay, now I can start helping other people. For me, it's about helping other people as well as helping yourself. And it can't just be about other people, and it just can't be for yourself. It has to be a nice mixture. But that's just what I think. Everyone's different.
But I think it's a great driving force, right? Because it's the law of attraction at the end.
Yeah, but the law of attraction has got a word in it that most people totally forget about. If you write it down, attraction, it's got the word action. And that's the thing that people never want to know. They just want to attract it without doing any action. But actually, it's the action that does it all. And you don't need to do that much. You just do little steps on a weekly basis or a daily basis. And here's the other thing. Here's the other message. Never, ever chase the money. Do what you love to do, and the money will come. But people don't really want to hear that because they will say, yeah, that's easy for you to say. I would say, do what you enjoy doing. You will be so much better. And there's a reason why. Because when you've been working 5, 6, 7 hours a day at something, maybe even more, you have a job as well, etc. If you hate what you do, you're going to be looking at the watch all the time going, oh. But if you love what you do, you morph time. Have you ever been up till 2, 3 in the morning and you go, oh, you know, I've got to go to bed. You know, I didn't realize, because you enjoy doing it. People like, you know, Donald Trump, for example. You know, people say you work 16, 17, he only sleeps 4 hours. Right? He works all the time. And, you know, they say, Donald, you know, why do you work? And he looks at them, he says, this isn't work for me. I love what I do. That's why he only sleeps 4 hours a day. Most people sleep 8, 10 hours a day because they hate what they do during the day. And by the way, I really do believe that most people who are tired, if people listening now are tired at the end of the day, they don't have time, or they feel as if they don't have the energy to create wealth because they're working 10 hours a day for somebody else, hating what they do. And they can't even spend 10 minutes in the evening creating wealth for themselves. Why? Because their mind is going, why am I doing this? I hate what I do. And that makes them feel tired. They're not out there chopping trees or anything like that that makes them feel physically tired. It's the mindset. So we come back again. It is the mindset and psychology behind everything. That's why the National Achievers Congress is so important. Just one tiny little thing that somebody can say can send you off in a totally different direction. That's the magic that I'm looking forward to at the National Achievers Congress.
Can you give us a little insight on what you're going to show us during the Congress?
Yeah.
Little tiny preview.
Absolutely. So I'm going to be talking about precious resources. I'm going to be talking about the things that are becoming rarer and rarer and rarer that people need. So countries such as India, such as China, are growing massively. They've got a growing middle class. And they're going to be needing these precious resources like oil, like gold, like silver, like platinum, like palladium. And they're going to need them in manufacturing, technology. They're going to need them in mobile phones, batteries, you know, high-tech weaponry. And quite frankly, you know, the more people need them, what's going to happen to the price? The price is going to go up, so there's upward pressure. So what are we doing about that? Are we going to try and time the market? Are we trying to get in with 10,000 euros and hope that it goes up? That would be crazy to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to show several different strategies that people can use immediately, right there and then, that you can start accumulating these precious resources so that we have time in the market, not timing the market, which is very difficult to do, time in the market so that when the big move up comes, you're going to make a lot of money. Very, very simple, very, very powerful. It's more the Warren Buffett school of investing, really. And quite frankly, why argue with Warren Buffett? You know, the guy's worth, depending on how much money he gives away, you know, 46 billion, 56 billion, depending on the stock market on that day. So it's really something that everybody can do. And my mission really is to help people who, you know, the housewife, the fathers, you know, people who maybe haven't thought about investing before, but think, wow, I need to invest because I don't have enough money for the future. This is a reality. This isn't like, oh, I want to be a billionaire. This is, whoa, I don't have enough for my retirement. What am I going to do? Those people need to be at the National Achievers Congress.
You just answered my last question, actually, and you've given me already a zillion of arguments why people should actually come. But if you would have to pack it like in 30 seconds, why people should come to the National Achievers Congress to Nuremberg, what would that be?
Well, I would say it in a very philosophical way, and it's something that helped me when I first started. I was looking to change where I was, but I was a bit frightened about doing anything different. Duh, you know, if you do the same thing, you're going to get the same results, right? But that's very nice and that's textbook stuff. But that's not the way I was thinking. I was thinking, yeah, I want to go on this seminar, and it costs money, a lot more than the National Achievers Congress. I mean, it cost, you know, near to £1,000, and you know, the guy at the other end of the phone said to me, okay, so you want to make a change? I said, listen, I have to make a change. You know, where I'm going right now, I need more. And he said, okay, let me ask you 2 questions. Powerful. I said, okay. And he said, okay, so let me ask you this. If you don't do something different right now, what is going to happen? And I said, no, that is not an option. I need to make a change. I was in a job that I hated. I needed to make a change, but I didn't know how, because the money was okay. And he said, okay. He said, but what could happen if you went to this seminar and you hear something that totally changes your life? I said, okay, I'm in. Those two questions changed my life. I went on this seminar, and I don't want to scare people too much by saying what I did. Maybe I'll reveal what I did at the National Achievers Congress. But literally, the day after the seminar, I made a huge change in my life. And now I am where I am today. Mm-hmm. And it's all thanks to making that decision. So I would say, make the decision.
Great. Thank you very much, Marcus. I think you've got our audience given some very, very nice insights. Also why you're doing what you're doing and why people should attend.